Welcome to this deep dive. When we traded physical DVDs for streaming, we basically traded absolute privacy for absolute convenience.
Right, like no late fees, but suddenly some massive corporation knows exactly what you're watching.
Exactly. And today, a vastly more important transition is happening with your wallet. We're unpacking Mexico's aggressive roadmap to basically become a cashless society by 2027.
It's moving so
It
fast.
really is. We are synthesizing a strategic breakdown of their digital economy. Plus, we've got breaking news from President Claudia Sheinbaum's press conference today, March 20, 2026.
Yeah, and that roadmap is really accelerating. Broadcasting from Cancun today, Sheinbaum highlighted these growing German investments ahead of an EU trade deal. But, the main event was a new pact with the Mexican Bank Association.
Right. And just to be clear for everyone listening, whatever your politics are regarding the Sheinbaum administration, we're just looking at the sheer mechanics here. The stated goal is to boost financing for the productive sector.
Meaning the businesses that actually build and make things.
Yeah, exactly. They want to push that financing from 38% to 48% of the country's GDP by 2030.
Right. And hitting that target relies heavily on, a massive push toward digital payments. The government strategy really centers on reviving CoDi and Dimo.
Which are those platforms that use your cell phone number as a payment ID, right?
Exactly, yeah. They're central bank platforms.
But wait, she actually admitted these platforms haven't exactly caught on before, like people just weren't adopting them. So why double down on them instead of just pushing regular bank cards?
Well, the key difference is the zero commission structure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you're a street vendor operating on really tight margins, a 3% credit card swipe fee is just a deal breaker. It's the difference between profit and loss.
Right, it just eats your entire margin.
Yeah.
So by making it totally free, they remove that barrier.
Exactly. It makes digital actually viable at the street level, not just, a luxury for big retailers.
So that's the carrot.
Yep.
But the 2027 strategy definitely brings out the stick, too. Like, adoption isn't just going to be voluntary anymore.
No, they're actively closing the off-ramps for cash. They're starting by mandating digital-only payments at strategic pinch points, like highway tolls and gas stations.
Wow. And then there's the Banco del Bienestar, right?
Yeah, that's a huge part of the equation. By loading government social benefits exclusively onto digital cards, they are essentially forcing millions of previously unbanked citizens into the formal grid.
Just to buy their daily groceries.
Exactly. It's a mandatory, massive-scale onboarding process.
Man. And obviously, COVID was the initial catalyst for this globally because no one wanted to touch physical bills. But reading through the strategic breakdown, that germ phobia is long gone.
Oh, completely.
The permanent drivers are really control and maintaining physical cash like printing it and guarding armored trucks, it costs a staggering 1 to 1.5% of a country's entire GDP.
Which is wild. Saving 1.5% of GDP is a massive incentive.
Right. So aside from saving on printing costs, what's the real benefit for the state here?
Well, think of it like turning a dark room into a brightly lit stadium. Suddenly, the informal economy has nowhere to hide. Digital money leaves this unerasable trail.
Oh, right, because every single transaction is logged.
Right, so tax authorities can automatically cross-reference a citizen's income against their expenses. It's basically an automatic nationwide tax audit without ever having to pass laws to raise taxes.
Wow. And it fundamentally changes the landscape of crime, too. Like, if there's no physical cash in a register or a delivery truck, the actual physical loop for street robberies just vanishes.
Exactly, which is highly appealing to the public. But the flip side is that it turns your everyday spending into big data.
Your purchases become a behavioral profile.
Right. Governments and financial institutions can instantly understand your consumption patterns, trace your associations, or offer targeted microloans based on your exact habits.
So the ultimate takeaway here is that as this timeline accelerates globally, your digital footprint basically becomes your entire economic identity. Every coffee, every tank of gas, every toll road, it's all logged and stored.
Yes. The benefits in economic efficiency, lower street crime, and bringing the unbanked into the fold are undeniable. But, the trade-off is profound and permanent.
Which brings us right back to that streaming analogy from the start. The convenience is absolute, but so is the tracking. So I'll leave you with this final thought to mull over. If every single purchase you make is permanently tracked and stored for economic efficiency and security, how do we balance the undeniable safety of a cashless society with the total erasure of financial privacy?